When I went to college, I already had 2 children. The last time I was in school, we solved problems like Adam had 3 apples, Rebecca ate 2. How many did Adam get back? Anyway, I was in a pre-calculus class. I always sat in the back of the classroom because I was afraid of the professor choosing me. Well, one day, a couple of weeks later, he decides to pick on me and tells me to come up and solve this problem. Of course, I didn't know what the hell was going on. I sat down, back down. I was humiliated. Anyway, after class ended, the professor came after me and he said to me, "What major are you going into?" I said, "Medicine." He said, "Medicine, I don't think that's going to be a good idea for you." He said, "Because if you can't even do these problems that are really easy, solve problems like this, how are you going to do that?" I told the professor, "You don't know me." I went home that day. It was a Friday. I cried like a child. I'll never forget. I put my kids to sleep. Saturday morning, I woke up. I left them with their father. Was a body in the house. I went to the librarian. I said to her, "I need you to help me with selecting 2 books about pre-calculus." She helped me. I picked up those books. I went home and I chewed those fucking books apart. You hear me, girls? I went on YouTube. I wrote down everything I can possibly think of, okay? I did my part. I put in all that work. Guess what? A couple of weeks later, I kept sitting in the back of the classroom, of course, because I was again afraid he was going to choose me. A couple of weeks after that, I sat in front of the fucking classroom and I raised my hand. I finally got it. I put in that work. There was nothing that was going to stop me. He was not going to tell me that I wasn't going to make it. I owed it to my kids. I owed it to myself. I needed out of that marriage. He was not going to own my ass anymore. Anyway, I made it through the first 2 years of college. I graduated with a 3.8 GPAs. I was an honors bitch. You hear what I'm saying to you? You know why? Because I knew I needed it in life and there was nothing that was going to hold me back. With that said, 117 people applied to the respiratory care practitioner major. I said, I'm against 117 people. There's no fucking way I'm going to be able to do this. Make a long story short, not only did your girl do it because I chewed my books apart and I fell asleep all over train stations going to and from school, but there was nothing that was going to fucking stop me. I was exhausted. It was already 4 years of this. When I graduated college, I graduated as president of my classroom. I had one of the highest grades in that goddamn class. And it wasn't because I was more intelligent or better than anybody. It was because I had the will. My professor knew my story. My professor knew my struggles. Unexpectedly, when I graduated, she called me in the middle of the auditorium where there was plenty of colleges graduating and asked me to come and give a speech. I was not prepared for the speech, but she didn't think I needed it because everything I have said came from the heart. My struggles are real. I went up there and I spoke. She told me one day you should be an influencer and influence the women out there in the world. Let your story be known. It's not an easy one. And you know what? I decided that maybe that's my calling, is to wake you women up and let you know that if you